Jay fans, the two best words that you could hear put together is opening day. And tomorrow, the Blue Jays are about to embark on one of the biggest seasons in this franchise's recent history. Sunday, October the 3rd, the Jays faced off against the Baltimore Orioles and beat them. Swept the Orioles. But then had to play that waiting game. And proceeded to watch the Yankees walk off the Rays and watch the Red Sox come from behind to beat the Nationals. And that right there was the last time that we have seen this Toronto Blue Jays team in meaningful game action. Well, tomorrow night, that all changes. Opening day for the Toronto Blue Jays is tomorrow night at Rogers Center, 7:07 first pitch between the Jays and the Texas Rangers. We could arguably say this is one of the most highly anticipated seasons in Jays franchise history. Obviously, I was not around for the 92-93 season, so I can't say for them. But I'm going to say in recent memory, in my lifetime, this is the highly anticipated season that I have ever seen. This roster, top to bottom, is dangerous. Starting rotation, offense, defense. The one question mark you could arguably say is the bullpen, and it was last year as well. But this bullpen is a lot better than that. Before we go any further, I want you guys to follow the Twitter and the Instagram page down below. I'm going to try and be a lot more active on those this upcoming season. And I have two questions for you guys before I even break down my thoughts on the upcoming season. Your record prediction for this season for the Toronto Blue Jays. Realistically, what do you think this Blue Jays team is going to do this year? Obviously, barring injuries, health, all that stuff, right? We don't know. But what is your prediction? And also, tomorrow night for Game 1 against John Gray and the Texas Rangers. What's your opening lineup look like? What does 1 through 9 look like for you? And I'll do mine in a little bit, all right? But let's break down the roster because today the opening day roster had been finalized. So let's break this puppy down and talk about these players. All right, let's start out with the pitchers, not just relievers, not just starters, all mixed together. We got Jose Berrios. I mean, no words can describe the hype that we have for this guy this season. Adam Simber was just a staple in the back end of the bullpen last year, and he's had a great spring. Yimi Garcia, we've all heard it. We've all heard the good stuff about him. Now we want to see it. Kevin Gausman, the biggest free agent signing this offseason, excuse me. Yusei Kikuchi, obviously back end of the rotation, but a really key component to this Blue Jays pitching staff. Alek Manoah, we all know what this big fella can be. We saw it last season. He's getting better. I'm excited to watch him. Tim Meza, Julian Merriweather, David Phelps made the team out of camp. Trevor Richards, Jordan Romano, some of the big pieces in that bullpen for the Toronto Blue Jays. Obviously, Hyunjin Ryu looking for that big-time bounce-back season after they did really disappointing last half of last season. You could arguably say he only played a good 2 months. Then after that, it was tough. Taylor Saucedo, I was mentioning it in the spring training videos that I thought that he might make the team out of camp because really no other lefty was impressing. And then Baraki hit the IL, and I'm like, Saucedo's probably going to make it. And his stuff's nasty. And he did make it. Ross Stripling and Trent Thornton made the team out of camp as well. So there's your pitching staff for the Toronto Blue Jays. Both starters and relievers, bullpen help, long man, whatever you want to call them. But it doesn't look that bad, honestly. I look at all these guys and I'm like, well, where's the weak link? Well, you can arguably say, Ross Stripling, maybe Trent Thornton. But I look at the rest and I'm like, the team looks half decent. And when are you going to see Stripling and Thornton? You're arguably going to see those guys when you're up a bazillion amount late in games or you're down a ton early in games, right? So the high leverage guys, there's quite a few here. Now, there's a lot of question marks, though. What's Yimi Garcia going to do in his first time with the Blue Jays? Is Julian Merriweather going to stay healthy? Is David Phelps going to stay healthy? Because obviously, started a team last year that was hurt for the entire season. Merriweather, basically the same thing. So what's their health concerns going forward? Can Taylor Saucedo actually grab that lefty spot and roll with it? I don't know. Can Tim Meza replicate what he did in the second half of last season? There are lots of question marks, but lots of talent. And I truly believe in these guys. Albeit I'm just so hyped for this team this season. I got to believe in everybody right now. But I'm so pumped for these guys. I think the Jays pitching staff looks immensely better than it was last season, at least going into the year. All right? Let's get behind the plate. Obviously, with the deal of sending Reese McGuire to the Chicago White Sox, the Jays acquire Zach Collins, who is easily the third-string catcher for the Toronto Blue Jays, and you have Alejandro Kirk and Danny Jansen. So we obviously know Danny's going to be the primary catcher. Kirk will go in there to catch once in a while and also DH as well. Zach Collins will go out there. I don't know if a guy... I don't know if you'll really ever see the guy, to be honest, unless an injury occurs, right? That's the only time I think you'll see Zach Collins. But, hey, you never really know. But I like what we see from Danny Jansen in the spring. He ended last year really strong. The question is, can he continue that going into the season and build off of the end of last year? We'll have to see. Can Alejandro Kirk live up to what he did, in spring training and all the hype we've seen with the bat? Because we've seen it a lot. However, the numbers last year in the big leagues weren't all that spectacular. Didn't have a really good end of the season. Obviously, going to start the year with the team. Obviously, the second-string catcher, or I guess the 1A, 1B with Danny Jansen. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Alejandro Kirk this season. All right? Now, let's get to the fun stuff. The infielders for the Toronto Blue Jays, you don't really see any holes. You obviously got Bo Bichette. You have Kevin Biggio and Santiago Espinal battling for that second base spot. I wouldn't even call it battling, right? Depending on matchups, who's on the mound, right? You might see Biggio play game 1 tomorrow night because it's got the righty John Gray on the mound, right? You also got Matt Chapman at third base, who's unbelievable. We're going to have so much fun watching him at 3-bag. You obviously have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And then you have Cato. The man made it out of camp. He did have a really good spring training. He showed a lot of great flashes defensively, and he made the team. Very impressed with the and plus, I think another reason he made the team is lefty bat. So there's that scenario. The outfielders. We have Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Teoscar Hernandez, George Springer. Oh, that sounds beautiful. And Raimel Tapia, as we all expected, as the fourth outfielder. And it's going to be a lot of fun, man. I can't wait. Jays fans, tomorrow, 7:07, it's going to be 50,000 packed in Rogers Center for the first time in quite a long time. 50,000, it's going to be it's a long time coming for the Toronto Blue Jays, and it's about to get started tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, let me give you guys my record prediction and my starting lineup for tomorrow before I just leave it up to you, because honestly, I can sit here and talk about this team all day long. This is for me to give you kind of the roster breakdown, my record prediction, my starting lineup, and this is for you guys to go in the comments and just have a ball with it. All right? My record prediction, God, barring any injuries and health concerns, I truly believe this Blue Jays team can be a 100-win team. The rotation's nasty. Your bullpen, if they do what they did last season, and the guys that come into the team, like Yimi Garcia and other guys like that, if they can come in and just play their role, and the offense stays healthy, how can this team not win 100? They won 91 games last year with a shoddy bullpen for like 2 or 3 months. They can do it. I'm going to say they're 100. I'm going to go right on, just kind of even out. 162. That's my record for the Blue Jays this year. It's a high ceiling, but with this roster, why would you not have a high ceiling, right? You addressed all your holes. You added a Yimi Garcia in the pen. You added Matt Chapman, who's going to fill up that third base hole swimmingly, right? And then you add a Kevin Gausman. You add a Kikuchi to your back end of the rotations. It looks a lot better than it did last season. So I don't see why this team can't do it. I really don't. That's my take on that. My starting lineup for tomorrow, it's pretty straightforward. I think the first 4 or 5 guys. I'm going to go, obviously, George Springer, Bo Bichette, Vladdy Jr., Teoscar Hernandez. And then after that, you can kind of go each way. I'm going to go Matt Chapman next. The reason being, I want that little bit of protection. I want that protection of Gurriel behind him in the number 6 in the 6 hole, because you want that guy to get fastballs. You want Matt Chapman to get as many pitches to hit as he had. But we've seen in the past last year, Gurriel, it doesn't matter if he was in the 7th hole half the time. And who's in behind him? Oh, I don't know, Danny Jansen and a Biggio who was really struggling. They're going to attack Gurriel. And he was still crushing it. So he can do it. For Matt Chapman, I want him to get into the flow early on and then maybe make adjustments after that. He's my number 5. Gurriel 6. And then from there, it gets a little interesting, gets a little dicey. So obviously, Danny Jansen's going to start behind the dish. That's evident. So he's going to be my number 8 hitter. Now, I'm going to tell you why in a second. My number 7 guy, where are we here? Who am I missing? We got Vlad. Okay, hold on. See, this is where things get interesting. So you have your DH. I'd love to see Kirk DH in this game. I think he probably will DH in this game. So I'm going to go him number 7. I'm going to go Jansen 8. And I'm going to go Kevin Biggio 9. The reason I do Kevin Biggio 9 is for the fact of I want that lineup to turn over. And we all know Kevin Biggio. Look, when you're in the number 9 hole, you're not asked to do much. You're not asked to go up there and hit 300 or, have an on base of 450. We're not asking for that. Get on base. So let's say there's 2 out and nobody on, right? Kevin Biggio goes up there, draws a walk, turns the lineup over to George Springer. Yeah, there's 2 out, but he can do damage. That's why I want Biggio in the number 9 hole instead of having Danny Jansen, who, in the past, it's sub 200 hitter, right? Doesn't really do a whole lot, doesn't get on base a whole lot. It's just like, not what you want to see. So that's my thought. There's my 1 through 9. Springer, Bichette, Vladdy, Teo, Matt Chapman, Gurriel, Kirk, Jansen, and Kevin Biggio. As much as I love Espinal, he got the righty on the mound. I want to see Kevin Biggio in that starting lineup, all right? Jays fans, that is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and you are pumped for Blue Jays baseball to be back on the air tomorrow night, smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already, because this is going to be a wild ride of the season. You bet your rear I'm going to be here every step of the way, taking you through all 162. So I want to get all your thoughts. All right, hit the subscribe button because it's going to be a wild ride. Comment down below everything. Your lineup prediction for tomorrow, your record prediction for the season, who you're excited for this season, who you're worried about this season. Let me know everything in the comments below. Twitter link is down below, so follow up. Send me a DM to that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And Blue Jays Center has you covered all year long. Check it out on Instagram. I'll be doing some of the post-game live streams on there and maybe get some interviews mid-season. We'll have to see how that plays out. It's going to be a lot of fun on there all season. Baseball's back, baby. Means weather's turning better. Baseball's back. Oh, I can't wait, Jays fans. I know you're all excited as well. So, yeah, Twitter, Instagram, all down below. And I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you guys Leafs edition and Raptors edition tonight. Leafs are in Dallas taking on the Stars at 8:30. Raptors at home taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. And if they win that game, I believe all they need to do is win one of the final 2 games to clinch the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. Pretty crazy stuff. They're up a game and a half right now. Neither Chicago does not play tonight. You beat Philly at home, you're 2 up with 2 games to go. They have the tie break. All you got to do is win 1 game. All right, now to the Toronto Blue Jays. Tomorrow night, Jays fans, the Jays face off against the Texas Rangers. Marcus Semien and the Texas Rangers at Rogers Center. 7:07 first pitch. John Gray gets the ball for the Texas Rangers, and Jose Berrios gets the ball for the Blue Jays in Game 1 of 162. It's going to be a ride, Jays fans. I can't wait to go along with you. It's going to be a lot of fun, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and are jacked up for tomorrow night's ball game. We'll talk to you guys then.